Welcome to today's Dashcam Diary of Disabled, starring me, chronically happy. I am headed to my weekly chiropractor appointment, chronically late. That should be my second channel, chronically late. I also still have to be given a rave name. I don't really go to raves anymore. I am going to the music festival, but I guess more appropriate would be a festival name. I have to get named by the first family that adopts me, basically, so I don't get to pick my name. So once I have my name picked out for me, I will create a second channel to dedicate to just that part of me. That way I can, I've learned through a lot of the creator tools and YouTube tutorials about being a creator, influencer, whatever I want to be. I don't know. I want to be an inspiration more than anything. If I want to be titled anything at all, I just want to be named inspiration. So I am headed to my appointment, and right after that I go see my primary care physician to get any last minute labs ordered, which I'd love to get all of my numbers ran all at once. Like, look, I need this ran. I'm going to be gone for a month, so I just want to make sure everything's fine on this end. So I'm going to go with that. I got my MRI report yesterday. My MRI specifies that it does not see tethered cord, which is what I was afraid of, because it's going to be that much harder to find a neurosurgeon to listen. It's going to take a special one to listen, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to use my VA insurance for it. I don't know how I'm going to get this to work. There's a lot to look into because my Medicare is more state ran. I don't know how I'm going to get this whole thing accomplished. I also have to make phone calls to my insurance company today and be like, look, did you get the special request? What is my answer on my EDS doctor? Because she's the only one that can treat my EDS, basically. Well, that scared the crap out of me. Speaking of being scared, I was at my storage unit last night, and some dude, I was just closing up my storage unit, so it was making a lot of noise. It's metal. So I didn't hear this guy walk up on me because I was in the middle of closing my door. But what timing? Scared the crap out of me. I don't ever get scared and jump. I grew up watching horror movies and slasher films, and when it comes to a threat to my life, though, it scares me. If I cut myself, for instance, here's a little backstory here. Getting totally sidetracked, like usual. I was at my uncle's house down in Coos Bay, Oregon. They don't live there anymore. They moved. They had some woods in the back of their backyard. But it wasn't anybody's property per se. It was I think state land. I don't know. I don't know whose property, but everybody that lived relative to them that had this in their backyard, they all would explore. And there would be mushrooms of all sorts in their backyard. And my aunt got so used to identifying them, doing the spore stuff, and she would dehydrate them and then make her own mushroom seasoning. So she had quite the fun learning all about mushrooms and how and where they grow in her backyard in the woods. Unfortunately, my aunt and uncle's cat, one of the two of them, ended F out of you. Even in his old age. Man, he lounged at Stormy one time when we were down visiting. He didn't like anybody, nothing. Yeah, but he did actually love his sibling from another cat mom. Yeah, anyways, love my uncle and aunt that lived down on the coast for a while. Southern Oregon coast. So back to my MRIs. So weird not wearing a hat. But I don't really have a hat that goes with this outfit, so I had to, I mean, my veteran hat can go with anything. The navy blue, the dark blue on the ball cap portion. And I wanted to look more girlish, I guess, today. And when you wear bright colors like this, it really makes you look more tan. Like right off glance. When you really look at me, I'm really not tan. I used to tan so easily and so good. But now I have to avoid the sun like the plague. With all the medication I'm on. Yeah, it's not good. I don't know how I'm going to survive in Vegas. And I just recently got rid of my shade umbrella. Well, it was kind of broken and I wanted to do it anyways, but I really can't afford to order that right now. But I really could use, there's certain items I'm like, it would really benefit me a lot to have these things. Like the shade umbrella. So it's for my health. But I'm spending so much money on co-pays this week, I cannot dip into that money anymore. Because it is my gas money to get to this event. I just gotta have money to get there. That's all I need. And then a little bit of money for while I'm there. You know, a lot of places are going cashless, so I have to have the money in my account. So annoying. Because I did not budget very well, but I did the best that I could. And I still have sanity while I've gone through hell over the last 6 months. Since my fall in December. Thank goodness for my one friend that's not my ex-friend. She was able to get me to the ER that one day. I just could not tolerate it. It was awful. That's about the time I started my YouTube channel. You know, so maybe, I can attribute some positivity to my fall. I started my YouTube channel because I knew it was going to be a long road ahead of me because I've been through this road before. Just arguing with doctors and going through the gambit of medications, although my medications are better controlled this time, and I think, even though I still feel pain, it's only while I'm doing the task. I know that I'm out of alignment. I can feel it. I can tell. But all my sensitivities are dulled down a lot with this buprenorphine patch. Butrans. I'm gonna just try to keep calling it by Butrans. So when I talk about buprenorphine as my Butrans patch, it's a combination of the words bu, like BU, for buprenorphine, and transdermal is the second part. So that's why it's called Butrans. It makes sense. So when I talk about my chronic pain patch, which is actually primarily used for substance use disorder, the doctor did tell me, I'm getting so off topic with my MRI again. So, but within the realm of the same thing, the internal medicine doctor that I see that prescribes my pain medication. No matter the situation with even if I was track my pain and anxiety. Yes, some strains cause anxiety, but I can tell right away when I come across those strains, after usage, of course. But once I do that, I realize, yes, this is an adverse strain. I do not use it anymore. And I don't really have a way to keep track of all of them. And it all depends on the grower. And I believe it's the chemicals that they use on said plants that cause the anxiety. I don't think it's the plant itself. It could be the plant itself. I don't know all the science behind it. And it's okay to correct me if I'm wrong, and that's fine. I'm open to learning and understanding more about everything in life. But I'm just learning, going by off of what I've learned and my experiences. Sometimes I'll have a reaction to a strain, sometimes I won't. So it's really hit or miss. And that's where a lot of doctors also are very against the substance. Because there's been more research done, and gosh, my jaw is so out. And it's because of stuff below here that's out. Everything's super tight in my jaw, and so all I'm doing while I'm out of alignment is making this looser and making it more susceptible to going out. It's not good. That's also what happens when you use injectable steroids. You have a way to overuse that now and loosen it up by destroying the tissues and stuff around it. Because that's what happens. That's why it's highly suggested for EDS people in particular, because of the connective tissue that it destroys. It makes things a whole heck of a lot worse. That's why my pelvic bone is tilted all the time and thrown off, because of my bursitis and my really worn down ball and socket joints, which I haven't had MRI'd or checked in a long time. Maybe I'll go that route, if I cannot get anywhere with this tethered cord. I will go after other body parts, and I'm gonna be like, look, can you make me a robot yet, please? Can I please be a robot? That's my goal. I already feel like I'm an alien, so if you can just go ahead and just make me a robot by all these artificial parts that I know have to be replaced probably twice in my lifetime. But doctors want to get away with not opening you up as much as possible. So frustrating. So let me get totally off track. I'm about halfway to my chiropractor, so I need to start wrapping up my story. Because I know it takes me forever with my side stories. It's like a side quest, which I'll be on many of those at EDC, which I'm not able to really. I'm basically going to be sober at EDC, except for whatever medical MJ I can get in with me. Come on, it's medicine and it's legal there in the state. It just bothers me. Some of the things. I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. Don't need to be flagged for any reasons. Any kind of disclaimers. I do not condone any acts of illegal things. I do not condone any illegal activities. Do so at your own risk, but I do not recommend it. Just because I talk about certain things does not mean I'm going to do it either. But I like to be transparent and as authentic as possible. I just gotta leave out certain things for legal disclosures. Do not do as incidentally found, which I've seen in the past, which I've researched in the past, and I had to re-research myself again. I don't remember everything. If you don't use it, you lose it. And when I was in this journey for the first time, trying to figure out if it was tether cord or not, I went the hip route, and then I went the spinal cord route. I got denied for the hip surgery. They don't think it would do anything because they're like, it's a mechanical problem. Really beach. Really? What do you do with a car when it has a mechanical problem? You take it to the mechanic, and that's what doctors are supposed to be, or surgeons. They are the mechanics. But when the mechanic refuses you service, you go for second and third opinions. And of course I definitely made a wrong impression at some point, with my doctor, Well, what if I were to go to get a second or third opinion? They'd probably tell you the same thing. And I know my cohorts. Basically saying, I know all the other neurosurgeons in the area, and I know that they aren't going to do anything for you. Not neurosurgeon, ortho surgeon. Orthopedic surgeon. There, I think that's the correct terminology. I'm just so pissed off and frustrated that my neurosurgeon retired. I really need his expertise in this. It's so frustrating having to start all over and research all over again and go through all the stuff that gave me medical PTSD in the first place. The doctors gaslighting me. And I'm hopeful. I'm so hopeful with going to this freaking EDS conference on this coming Saturday before I leave. It gives me hope. I'm emotional. It gives me hope that I'll have somebody referred or mentioned that I can talk to about tether cord that's active in the community, that knows about EDS, that knows how complicated we are and complex, especially when it comes to surgery. And that's mostly the reason that doctors are holding EDS against me to not operate on me. So this is the problem with getting diagnosed with EDS, is you have surgeons know that they don't know jack about EDS, and that it does cause abnormal wound healing, and it caused abnormal wound healing in me, but I still healed. I still swear it was some kind of clot or retethering 3 months after my surgery into recovery is when I think I really originally retethered. But I think it might be higher up in my spine. I really do. And the spinal cord can have that higher up in the spine. I just don't know where it tethered at. So I need to have more scans. I need to have more MRIs, which gets me back to why I got off topic to begin with. That day of the MRI, I felt like I had a lot of muscle twitching. I could not tolerate. I couldn't tolerate it. My muscles just had a mind of their own. So the update is, thank you for attending my cry vent session. I just needed to let that out again. I'm just still not over it. I'm still trying to process with my retired neurosurgeon, because he's the only one that could give it to me straight and tell me whether it was worth it or not for surgery. And I really would have trusted his opinion. But now I had to start all over. And I can't even get my naturopath approved. She would know which MRIs to order again. She would maybe be more willing to order more MRIs than is that doctor, she can give me advice. She can tell me where to go. And so that's what I have to check on insurance today. Is if she got approved. And if not, I have to go through the VA. And I have to figure out the VA process ASAP. But after vacation, I'm not going to deal with any of this beforehand. I have enough on my plate, except for I have an appointment set up with that doctor tomorrow virtually, and I need to be able to cancel, I think, 24 hours in advance. And so I need to do that today within the next certain amount of hours to make it 24 hours in advance. So I got to call on the insurance side. I need pre-authorization. And I have not received that yet in the mail or heard any word about it. So, fudge, I need to do that before my primary. I'm going to do it after this appointment, before the next one. Cross your fingers, guys. Hope it goes well. Peace out.